to excuse me, I can't quite manage to build up to the Norwich game just yet. I know it's upon us, but there's still so much, I feel, that needs to be discussed following the Frankfurt game. A lot of this stuff we will talk about over the summer, but while it's fresh in my mind, I know that I go on about this a lot. It's pace. It is pace. It's so important at the top level. I mean, it is, I say level, it's a leveller. Pace really is a leveller. And I do often worry that David Moyes doesn't appreciate the importance of it that much. Go back to the red cards just quickly. This is a situation that Aaron Cresswell has found himself in before. And that is that sometimes we go to press high up the pitch, which our centre-backs did on this occasion. Did not dissimilar to the situation that happened against Olympique Lyonnais. Now, if that is a tactic of ours, then that's fine. If that's got us to where we are, to, contesting in the top half of the league for European placings, for the latter stages of the European competition, then I'm not suggesting to throw the tactics out, to throw the baby out with the bathwater. But if that's what we do, we press high up the pitch, and then the full-backs have to provide a bit of cover, get quick ones. There was two major issues to what, actually, there were three, sorry, to what Aaron Cresswell did. First, his decision-making, he got the wrong side. Secondly, if he's going to be wrong side, then have enough technique not to miss the ball. He tried to kick it, he missed it. And then the third one is he's just not quick enough. If he is quick enough, he can cover that a lot better. Listen, you don't have to be as quick as Kyle Walker, but it helps. If you could just get there and you can just cover it. It also stops a lot of the time teams targeting you. And I do feel we are targeted for our pace almost consistently. I don't think Antonio is the quickest player in the world. I really don't. But he's one of our quickest. He probably is our second quickest player behind Ryan Fredericks. Our quickest player just doesn't play. However, there's a lot that can stop Antonio's pace being effective. And, one of them is the fact that he's asked to do so much work that he's often tired. And I don't just mean tired from a run of games. He gets tired during a game just for the workload he's got to do throughout a game. There's no injection of pace to come off the bench, which is a major issue, particularly when you are dealing with substitutes are there to take advantage of the opposition's tired legs, to fatigue in the opposition. The last thing that tired defenders want is somebody who's rapidly quick coming up against them. We don't have anybody there. Or maybe we do, any under 23s, and Moyes just doesn't want to use them. It's also easy to defend against if you've only got one player that's quick. If the only player that defence have to be concerned about is Antonio, they can make a tactical provision for him and then just push up and make a high line. Have a fast Antonio and then have somebody else who's fast wide, then you've got additional problems. Get somebody else in the midfield who's fast, who's going to run beyond Antonio, then, you really are going to start to force the issue. And I do find that there's two aspects to West Ham's play whereby we are a counter-attacking team. And I think that's fine. I do not mind a counter-attacking team at all. I quite like counter-attacking football, I've got to be honest with you. I prefer a counter-attacking football to possession-based football. But there's two things you're going to need if you're going to play counter-attacking football. Firstly, is you're going to need a goalkeeper who can distribute quickly, because that's the point. You're meant to be catching the opposition with their trousers down, right? The other thing is you better have some pace to be able to exploit the counter-attack quickly. Too often it will go to somebody like Fornals, who wouldn't have to sort of slow it up, or he will have to move. He's got nobody to move the ball on too quickly, so there'll actually be an additional phase of play which you don't need. Counter-attack should be done in sort of 3 passes. We haven't done either. We don't have the goalkeeper that does the distribution quickly, and Areola does it, but that's not really. You can't say Areola's our first choice goalkeeper, and we don't have the quick players. And there was a point. I was going to say you can't make provision for going down to 10 men, but I guess if you're going to go down to 10 men as frequently as we have recently, then maybe you should be making provision to go down to 10 men. But if you are going to go down to 10 men, you better make sure you've got some pace on the pitch, because you're going to need your players to cover 2 positions. And not only pace on the pitch, by the time those players that are running round have exhausted themselves, you better have somebody else with pace to come on. Because that's the point. You're missing, in this instance, a Lanzini. Someone's got to cover both these positions. I really feel that there was a lack of that, and it was epitomised, I think, for a moment, with 2 moments where Jarrod Bowen was in a position to do a counter-attack. Before I talk about those 2 moments, this video is sponsored by the OneFootball app, which you can download by by clicking the link below or using that QR code just up there. Look, I've got to be honest with you, download the OneFootball app because it's free. Download it for what it's going to give you. You won't want to read it at the moment. It's full of West Ham recriminations about what's happened against Frankfurt, but by the time I probably publish this video, there'll be lots of transfer rumours and lots of stuff on there. You'll be able to follow everything that goes on for the rest of the season. Injury news, fixtures, results, everything you need to know. It puts all the West Ham news together for you because you tell it you're a West Ham fan and then it knows. It's the OneFootball app. So Bowen got himself into a couple of decent positions. Now, unfortunately, he's not quite quick enough and he didn't quite have the support that 3 Frankfurt players were able to converge on him really quickly and just stop him getting anywhere. And there was one point where he was sort of calling for a foul, but there was no foul. He just wasn't quick enough on the afterburners to get past them. He's sharp, don't get me wrong. I'm not calling Bowen slow. He's really not, okay? But he's not a 10 out of 10 for speed. He's not even a 9 out of 10 for speed. You know, he's a 7.5, 8 out of 10 for speed. And sometimes it's just not enough. Not when teams are doubling up on you. And probably not when you don't have anyone else quick in the team. When Antonio's knackered and there's someone slow on the other wing and your fullback ain't particularly quick, then it's no good. What you want is someone steaming past you and whatnot. The other thing I'd say about Bowen, by the way, while I'm on the subject, is he keeps falling over all the time. He slips over. Basically, I don't know. He's basically not getting traction with his boots. Look at the amount of times he falls over. He just doesn't get to purchase. His boot goes in. I don't know if there's something wrong with his boot. Well, there must be something wrong with his boots, quite frankly. But he's always falling over. Not because he's pushed over. He falls over when he's sprinting. So he's not. I'm not saying he's diving or anything like it. By the way, Moyes has got, anyway, back on the pacing. Moyes has got to recruit for pace this summer. He absolutely does. I think he's worked absolute wonders with what he's got and what he's had to work with West Ham. I really do. To get us this far. And I do think there's a massive squad overhaul coming. However, we do 2 things. The counter-attack I've already mentioned, and also the high line, the high press. And I just don't ever look at it and think Moyes has got the personnel for that. I'm not going to say anything bad about Dawson. Dawson has been immense for us this season. But he is not the defender you want for a high line. I think Dawson, I hope Dawson is a part of the West Ham squad. Was he 32, 31, 32? I hope he's a part of the West Ham squad for the next 3-4 years. I really do. I think he'll continue to score important goals. I think he'll continue to be influential in matches. But we're talking top level here. And we're talking the difference between actually possibly contesting 7th. We may or may not get 6th. I think 6th is going to be a hard push. Not because we can't get the points the remainder of the season. But I'm not sure after we're going to be able to get over that hangover as a team to go again to beat Norwich to then go and win their remaining games. I think we win our remaining games, we get 6th. Have we got the mental energy to do it? And the physical energy. I'm really not so sure about that. But you know what? At the top level, when you want to not go for 6th, 7th, when you're trying to go for top 4, probably Dawson isn't your guy to be in central defence. Zuma needs a permanent partner who is quick. I would argue, and this is going to be videos for other days, there's a massive reshuffle. And actually to think about the video of the players I think should be retained next season in terms of starting first-team players. Look, Cresswell should be retained, but Cresswell needs to be our reserve left-back. That's what I think. And when I start to go through the team and think where we need to replace and get starters, there's actually quite a lot of positions. It's going to be a lot of content coming up, put it that way. But just overall, pace, got to be done. Absolutely got to be done. I didn't want to include it in yesterday's video as like the 4 factors that I felt meant we didn't reach the final. But it was part of it, and it has played a part. And I think we've probably gone as far as we can. With often, and I'll say this in reviews, I often look at us and think, I think we might have played Watford earlier on in the season. Watford, not a great team, obviously, as you can see. I thought the 5 quickest players on the pitch were all Watford players. I think I said that in a review as well. And you just can't have that. And a lot of times I look at West Ham and think we are by far the slowest team on there. Hey ho. Anyway, I guess onwards and upwards. I have to start looking forward to looking ahead to the Norwich game today. And do you know what? I just think, you know what, if because obviously Norwich game's gonna be tomorrow, but if that's gonna be if I'm struggling to get over it, then I do worry about the players. I do worry about Moyes, particularly the way he's been the last 2 or 3 weeks. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, the guy needs a holiday. All they got to do is knuckle down, go again, get the next month out of the way, and then everybody go away, have a break, come back. When we come back, there's going to have to be new faces.